Okay, so I'm waiting for the good doctor to join now on that phone right there, so just be patient. I mean, I guess, like, this is just my evidence. It has to be done. I have to record it. And hopefully this is the guy who got me off Suboxone, like, or what was my Suboxone treatment doctor, because he was pretty cool. Oh, there he is. What happened? What the fuck? What happened? Yo.
Hello,
Doc, how you doing, buddy?
Miss Robert?
Yeah, who's the lady?
This is Cassandra. She's going to be a physician assistant.
Thank you. Okay, cool. I got, just so you know, I'm recording this conversation because I feel the need that it has to be, because it's for court, and I just, I have to keep a record for myself to know I know what's said in this dialogue here that we're gonna have, and I'm entering this meeting as a scientist, a researcher,
Okay.
and I'd like to explain. Are you the guy that got? Was you my Suboxone doctor by chance? I was treated there.
Suboxone?
Yeah, I got I recovered from opiate addiction at community counseling there in 2013, and you look like the
I've only been here about 2 years now, so.
well that now. Anyway, I was kind of hoping you was that guy, because he would know me a little bit, so I could clear this diagnosis up that your counselors seem to think that I'm delusional, okay? And
Okay, okay. Who thinks you're delusional?
your two counselors, your guy in Conneaut, who really he couldn't really answer a couple of easy scientific questions to be diagnosing my brain in 30 minutes that I'm delusional is absurd to me. So you can't diagnose a person in 30 minutes with that kind of type of mental with that mental cognitive function. That's not right. I mean, how could that be possible? Because I look into stuff. I mean, the things that I'm looking into can be well proven and factual. It's not my fault that counselor, that they don't do their due diligence. And here today, I want to introduce myself. I'm Rob Tadero, and I've had a pretty rough life, but a pretty easy life at the same time. My
Okay.
mom died in 1984 of cancer, and ever since that day, I've been a science studier. Okay, can I ask you a couple questions just so I know what level of what level we're both speaking at? If I could ask you, if you okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What's your name again? What do I call you?
Just call me Dr. Yendrick or Doc.
Yundrik. I couldn't figure out how to pronounce your last name, Yundrik. Okay, that sounds good. Yundrik. I like that name.
It's Slovak.
Slovak. All right, Tadero. Top Tadero. I have no idea what it is, but anyway. Okay, so
All right.
my,
How old
my
are you, by the way?
I am 58. I'm gonna be
58.
50.
Okay.
I think
Okay,
I
go
think
ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
59. You know what? I don't know, 57 or 58. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't go by that clock anymore, sir. To be honest with you, if that makes me delusional, I don't know what to say. But I just don't. I try not to live by them stresses no longer. Whoa, whoa! My cat's just knocked stuff over. The garage knocked all my tools. The cat knocked everything over. That's what that noise was. How's my audio? Is it coming in clear?
You're fine.
Okay, good. All right, so Dr. Yovak. All right, so my
How are you sleeping, young man?
I sleep pretty good, man. I mean, I sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. I mean, I sleep when I'm tired. I eat when I'm hungry, and I have a pretty good, decent life. I mean, I do a lot of reading and studying. I mean, I don't require much sleep. I mean, like I'm a 4 or 5 hour a night sleeper. Sometimes I'll take a nap during the day. Depends on how busy I am doing things that are occurring in my life. So
No thoughts of wanting to hurt yourself?
no. I want to begin with. We've already been through all them things. Oh, and one thing I'd like to clear up is for some, it's been bugging me all night. The last counselor lady did ask me one question, and it haunted me all night long that I couldn't figure out for the life of me why I couldn't answer her the truth. she asked me if I was mourning for anybody, which was really deep down, I'm still mourning for one of my mentors, one of my teachers, professors, a guy who saved my life when I was a young man and mentored me through a lot of research like physics and understanding history and the Bible and philosophy and understanding philosophy and all that stuff. So I'm a pretty well read guy about a lot of stuff. So this man died a few months back, and he come in my life again, and later on in the life with more advanced research that this man's been doing, which it's the Die Home Foundation, which I pulled up a video so that I could show you. I'd like to introduce you a man who saved me, so that maybe you could look into it. And one more thing, are you able to look something up? Because on my presentation, there was.
Look it up. What do you want me to look up?
First thing up is to start this whole thing off so that you understand how the depth of where I'm about to take you, and me being a man of God and loving Jesus, I mean I have to spread this type of stuff, because I think that this man here, all my life, seemed to speak logic, reason, common sense, and was more than everything wisdom. Okay, with his mannerisms. So I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Vogt. I'm going to let you watch just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk about it a little bit. But look up, I want you to go to your computer while I'm pulling this video up, and I want you to look up Senate Bill 4488 for me. Now, you don't have to read into it much. I just want you to read the headline, and you can go home later on at nighttime, and hopefully you'll read it, because it is now law. That is now in the
Global Catastrophic Risk Management Act.
Yes, sir. That's now law. That's not.
Okay.
That's been now enacted into law. That's just where I know where to start with the beginnings of it, so that you, as a professional, a doctor, right? So you're a scientist guy too, so you probably know a lot of things, I hope. So anywho, my journey started in pretty much the second grade, okay? I had teachers that were like, we were going through the moon landing time, and my class, our teachers, Mrs. Robotham and Mrs. Farr, they would pull an the old TV screens. Remember how the old TVs looked when we were, yeah, 1972. Okay, so in second grade, we all watched the men drive around on the moon. So it's like a memory that's stuck in our whole class's history. And I have lots of videos on this on my YouTube channel if you'd like to take a peek as well. Anywho, our second grade class, our teachers somehow they knew about this scientific experiment. It's called the particle collider. It's these scientists that are looking for the God particle. Have you ever heard of that? Okay, do you know what CERN is? Okay, that facility's been in my life, my whole life, and I pretty much since the second grade, because our teachers spoke of it, and then from there, pretty much the science seed was stuck in my head all my life. And well, my mom died in 1984, right in the last of my high school years, and it affected me, man. My mama died. You know what I'm saying? I was close with my mama. She was cool. She was always taking me to auditions, and I got in some famous bands because when I was a teenager with my mom, I got to jam with the Doobie Brothers. I got to jam with Chuck Berry when I was just a kid. So anyway, sir, my mom had died in 1984, and it kind of took me on a weird path. For a little while, you're a kid, your mama died, your family's broke up, and whatever. And the 80s was crazy too, because whatever. So I went down my path, and what changed my life dramatically, sir, is my last years of high school. I'm a very scientific person in the science class, that I didn't get along with the science teacher, whatever. And making it through this school right here, you see the school behind me right here? This is where I graduated right here. I won 10 football games from this place right here. So, football, you have to practice with football, and then the band will come out pretty soon, and Pick up the other half of the film. Believe me, they're good. So, back to my story, sir. I had a disagreement with this science teacher in my senior year of high school. In the last couple weeks of high school, the guy kicked me out of his class. Like he kicked the teacher, this Mr. Balcones, and I have 4 or 5 witnesses from that class and previous classes before that on video that this Mr. Balcones guy used to try to get us to quit because we were like, I mean, we had a rough class, man. We were, I would say, ahead of our times. You know how conny it was back in them days. But so anyway, that not graduating from high school brought a rift between me and my father, and it really disappointed my father that I didn't get the diploma, right? So it caused a little bit of a rift between me and my father all of my life. That, you know, so as that went on and I didn't graduate, my father and I had a rift, and he kind of kicked me out of the house because I was pretty much using drugs a lot, and I was we were experimenting with lots of types of drugs in the 80s, man, and 1986 and 87. I mean, it was crazy. Like, we did acid and all sorts of stuff. Any drug you could name, just put it on here. This guy here and his friends, we did 2 or 3 basketballs worth size of each one. That's how much drugs I did when I was a kid, growing up. Now, I don't feel like it affected me too much. I mean, I don't ever want to take them experiences away because to me they were growing experiences.
Any legal trouble when you were younger?
No, I never had any legal trouble really too much. I mean, I was in the hair business, you know, for 35 years, and I was a business owner. And you know, there's lots of bullies around here, so it's cost me a couple scrapes and defending myself and mainly traffic. I mean, I'm in this mess because of. Huh?
Did you come up with that name, the Heavy Metal Hair Salon?
Yeah, that's my YouTube. Used to be my YouTube channel, but now I study climate science and earth physics and the earth changes and stuff like that. So I'm a researcher, so I document a few specific things when I see them in our skies, which is quite a lot. So I keep a record of our growing number of clouds because a couple of years back, a volcano in the South Pacific, in the southern hemisphere, called Tonga exploded. I mean, this volcano exploded underneath the sea, sir. It left a mushroom cloud that the space station recorded But anyway, that event put so much moisture and debris into our atmosphere that the climate change stuff is, you know, it's stuff that I study, and then I'm about to show you here. So you see that Senate Bill 4488, right? That's the real deal. It's in there. I went down many rabbit holes. In 1986, when I went to Florida to live with my Uncle Richard in West Palm Beach, Florida, I bumped into this man here, sir. His name is Douglas B. Vogt, God rest his soul, because 9 months ago, this man here that was a mentor in my life, if I bust out a tear, please forgive me, because this man meant a lot to me, because if he was alive today, I would have been able to call him up, and he would have joined us on this Zoom meeting for sure.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
This new special forces device turns
going to
men
one of
into
his videos
beasts.
so you can
It burns calories on auto.
All right, this is Douglas
Not
B.
mentioned
Vogt.
in the article. And the
He brings us,
paleoclimate changes.
and this is a man I worked for quite some time doing
carbon 12 and
what we call data organizing with scientific journals. In fact, this man here helped me get a Library of Congress library card, which was one of the best things I ever did, because I could pull up any medical journal, any science journal, any physics journals, and it's insane. But this man here inspired me back in the 1980s when I was hooked on drugs, fucked up. My father kicked me out. I was so high up on this stuff they called crank or whatever it was. It was such a strong methamphetamine back in them days. It was a little tiny bit would keep you up a month almost. It was pretty bad. This man here, I bumped into because he lived next to my Uncle Richard, who was my dad's brother, who was a car salesman for Ford. And he lived next door to this guy here, and he seen me troubled, and somehow I don't know, he took me under his wing and I started doing chores for the guy in his yard and stuff. And then he would invite me into his house. Douglas here. And introduced me to so much knowledge as a kid that, you know, I didn't understand none of it then when I was young. You know, and what this man meant to me my whole life. And a few months back, I tried to fly to Florida to be a pallbearer in a man's funeral. So it's pretty shocking to me. So anyway, going on, that's one of my first mentors. Although I never tried to pursue any classes until later on in life, because I never thought I could pass. Then I met this lady. Her name's Dr. Tamsin Scove.
Okay.
She walked to my hair salon once.
We have 2 solar storms on their way to Earth with a fast wind chaser. And
This is
some
Dr.
big regions are
Tamsin
rotating
Scove.
into Earth view, and they've already shown that they are
She's a
big solar
mentor.
storm and big flare producers.
And
Those stories and more in the news this week.
beautiful person. Was one of my teachers, and in fact, I could have her email you to, you know. But one day I met this lady in my hair salon, and I got to talking about this Douglas guy and science people that I know, like Randall Carlson, and I know personally because I walked in my hair salons, or I've been their hairstylist in one way or another. So in my midlife, I got hooked up with some science people, you know. Then foolishly, because when I was younger, I liked to, sometimes I'd go out into this bar and get drunked up, you know, and ride my motorcycle all over crazy and run from the do crazy shit, you know, on my Harley. Well, anyway, one night I crashed into a fence and hurt my leg, and then then from that point on I was hooked up in the medical system for 20 years, which this is well documented. It's all community counseling has all my records.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Brant Saber.
Particular religion that you are?
I'm a devout Christian, sir. I believe in
Christian?
the God of the God of Abraham and the Creator of all things, and
Married,
Jesus.
single?
Anyway, whatever I answered on the other 2 ladies' questionnaires were very accurate, except for that one when she asked me if I was mourning for any people that are dead. Okay, now I want you to pay attention because I'm telling you my life story, being honest with you, so that you could label me not delusional. Okay. All right, being out Dr. Brant for years, I had an extraordinary hair salon, man, down at the lake, in the lake here in Conneaut Harbor, for 15 years until we had a terrible winter, and I don't know, it's just so much snow, it collapsed the old building's roof in, and state came in and I had to move. By then, I was severely hooked on oxycodone, and the country was going through this big pill where everyone was getting cut off from things, even if you were doing it right. And then at that point, when I got cut off of those things, and they just took it all away, because Dr. Brant retired. I was on his roster for 15 good years on oxycodone, 30 milligrams for good 15 years anyway. On 30s for years, okay? I never thought I would get off opiates, man. I just never thought I would get off this stuff. So in 2013, my roof collapsed and my hair salon, I've been to it forever, and I had to move to a different spot. Now, here's where God comes in. Now, I was heavily hooked on, and then we were cut off our pills, so everyone switched to heroin. So you know, I had to open up a hair salon to deal with 20 ladies every fucking day, and I didn't want to dope sick. So to me, heroin was the same thing. Well, a couple of 3 years of that junk, you know, you get mixed up in all kinds of wacky people and goofy shit, and you know, just because you get dope sick and you just don't care, you want to get on sick, and that's all there is to it. So my next spot,
Surgery on your leg?
I did. I broke my leg in 2 spots, and I mean, when I was a kid, I broke it once on my femur bone, and I broke it once on my fucking ankle bones. whenever I crashed into the fence, and it hurt me tremendously to stand on it. But see, I don't know, the pain medicine treatments was all facade. I understand that. I mean, I haven't touched an opiate since 2013, 2021, 2013, or December 21st,
How
2013.
tall are you? How tall are you,
5'10",
Robert?
5'10".
Five, 5'10"? How much you weighing these days?
I weigh 170 pounds.
Okay.
Listen, this meeting stresses me. It stressed me out. It's kept me up all night. I mean, pretty much it's kept me awake thinking about how to put my presentation together. Okay, because I want to show you the people that I've learned from, so that these two counselor people that are, I feel, uneducated and they don't know very much, because I don't know, the guy couldn't answer my questions, like simple ones like world events.
Are you on any medication right now?
No, I'm not on anything. I'll be honest with you, sir. I like to smoke marijuana. I've been smoking marijuana for. I like marijuana. I don't drink. I don't do any other drugs. So you know, I smoke marijuana, and I do this every day since 2020. I play my guitar every day, and you know, because
Okay.
I make my money playing with people that are writing in studios, and I get invited to come to jump in their studio, mix and record a riff, and I make money like that. So I have to practice a lot to learn material to put my.
You allergic to any medicines or anything?
I'm allergic to all prescription medicine. I don't take it. I won't
Okay.
take it. Listen. So anyway, from my lake salon that the roof collapsed in, hooked on heroin and everything else in I think it was like 2010 when I had to move into that place, or it was. Anyway, I was stuck at this place on 666 State Street. It's right down the street from where I'm at right now. To this day, I can't even walk by that place. There's something that. I don't know. When I moved there, I became the worst drug addict for the 7 months that I was there that I ever become in my life. Okay, and when I did heroin, it never made me feel like knocked out like it did everybody else. It made them sleep. It made me jump off the walls because I felt good. You know, I don't know. But one night in this 666 place, I went out and got my fix. By then I was trying to go in and out of detox, and it just wasn't working, because you'd get into detox, they'd give you some oxygen for the days you was in there, then they'd let you loose, and then that would wear off, and you'd be right back to dope sick. Well, after this event that happened to me, December 21st, 2013, at 666 State Street, where my hair salon was, rented from the Shubotowski lady. I don't know, she was one of our city council that won the city board or something, but anyway, I rented from her. But it was 666 State Street. Well, I had an overdose in that place that I had never experienced out of all the heavy drugs I've done over my life to that point in time. That I just, nothing ever affected me like that, because when I did that shot, okay. Mind you, now this night was freezing, the snow, and I was so hooked on stuff back in that day, 2013, at 666 State Street, that I didn't want to shovel the snow for my customers. I just didn't want to shovel snow for them. I wouldn't. If you wanted a haircut from me by then, you had to make your own path to get in there to get a haircut, and people did. Well, anyway, I overdosed on this stuff, and it killed me for some time. And a cop that I used to always joke about with these other people that I used to get high with back in them days, we'd always joke about this police officer, and his name is Denny Moore. Now, this is a guy I grew up with. Then we had fisticuff fights back in our day when we were kids. You know, we bloodied each other up and beat each other up when we were kids. You know, the cop. So this night that I overdosed, we always used to joke, if Denny ever finds me, he's going to say, call the bus, we got another one, because people were dropping like flies like that. That year I lost 50 people that I personally knew that grew up with. 50 people I grew up with. I can name them. I can name every single one of them. They all died that year off that strain or whatever it was. Where my friend Daryl had to go snitch on the guy that was across from the bottom line bar there. I mean, the snitching is like it's like a bizarre thing that happened there where everyone did the ethical thing in my town, my hood of gangsters back in that day. So one of them did the right thing and went and got the guy with the poison shit arrested. So no one else was dying, but it was still around that drug was whatever it was. I mean, I can name all these people: Aaron Hartman, Jeannie Murphy, John Sabo. I can name 150 people at least if I had the time, but I won't waste your time with that. Just hope people believe me. So at 666 Straight Street, when I overdosed, sir, I went to another place that drove me crazy because I'm a logical, common sense, reasonable type of guy. You understand? Where I think about things and I don't, okay, I took for quite some time from this experience. I used to tell myself it was just a drug-induced dream. It was just a drug-induced dream, but the experience I had in there, sir, was with, I called the creator at the time that it happened. For a couple of years, I called it the operating system. Whatever it was, that dream I had, whatever it was was so real. Where my dead mom was in there, and it preaching scripture to my ear, and then when you realize, oh, I'm dead, it's like a type of feeling in that realm, right? So whatever the operating system did, it gave me like a different. I'm not the same Rob no more, man. I mean, I got the armor from God from that point, and I tried to peel it out for 4 or 5 years, but in the back of my mind, I kept telling myself, well, if God really did give you a job and a task, Rob, and that really happened, and it really wasn't a dream, and perhaps you did, whatever, okay? And I can get this any more of the ex-police officer to come and say that he did bring me back to life, and it took him 12 minutes to do so, okay? And then he drove me to the hospital. Or a man called Dr. Nemi, who was my customer, well, for 20 years in this area, for as his barber, would always come in and yell at me about being on these opiates and telling me that I would be in this emergency room one night. And, well, he was the only one that did it right. He sent me to Mill Creek Community Hospital. They kept me up there for a while. And then when they discharged me, they didn't send me home. They sent me to you guys. Okay? I came up there and I met Dawson. I stayed in IOP for quite some time.
Okay.
Yeah, because let me tell you, I overdosed on drugs and died. 50 of my friends are dead. I'm still here. God sent me back for whatever. Okay, so for lots of, it agged me for 2014 and 15 and pretty much 2016 until I took Tamitha Scove's test on her space weather class on her YouTube channel, where she offers a class like to learn about solar cycles and sun habits and CMEs and solar flares and magnetic fields and sunspots and how long a solar cycle is and how our planet works and when we can go out and see a good aurora if it comes down to our latitude when the sun is pooping.
Right.
Which, by the way, an X flare about 9 hours ago that was only a 2.4, but it's up there. I don't know if you've ever heard about the Carrington event. Have you heard of the Carrington event before? 1859? I'd like you to look. Yes.
Carrington event. Let me see.
1859.
Geomagnetic storm. Okay.
Okay,
I see it.
so in that solar cycle, when that happened, it caused geomagnetic conditions like the people were seeing auroras all the way to the equator, all the way around the world for 11 or 10 days. But back then they didn't have satellites and technology and blah, 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 and whatever. But if that type of event happens today, it's lights out, You try to tell people that doesn't make me delusional. It's just fact. I mean, NASA got published about electromagnetic pulses. I mean, our enemies have it. They're telling us on the news. I mean, I know what they are because not only did I not play in a band with this man and make 2 great albums, he is electricity physics. This guy, his name's Matt Anderson. He's one of my good friends, and he has several degrees in electricity stuff, a physics course where, I played in a band with this cat when he was younger. and we made a couple records. Well, later on in his life, he pursued a physics knowledge in electricity, so he took it to the next level.
Why didn't you go into physics? You liked it so much.
I did study this stuff. I passed his test, but I didn't quite pass because, I mean, I passed, but it's not good enough. I'm a felon anyway. It doesn't matter. I study this stuff so I could teach it to my grandkids, and they understand it. But this is all about electromagnetic waves. And sorry about these commercials. I apologize. I didn't pay my subscription, but I'm broke. I'm broke bum, by the way. I do everything for free anymore.
That's ludicrous. But I
I'm
got you,
sorry.
nigga. Like a good neighbor, State Farm
I
is
wish I
there.
would have downloaded it. I didn't have time to download it actually. I wanted to though. I was gonna
To detect
see if I could,
these electromagnetic
you know,
waves.
but I learned
Well,
in his class. I got.
Let's draw the electric field coming along.
I
Yeah,
talked to
looks
two
like
counselors.
it's
One
pointing
guy who
out.
couldn't tell me how many chromosomes were in our body, which blew me away. I mean, like I asked them questions because our medical field is screwed up. It's goofy. They're aiming to kill us all. I understand how it works, big pharma. I'm not stupid. The government and well, I'm not. I've been studying, dude. You guys all made a mistake getting my brain clean. Let me tell you something. You all made a mistake. And then when I started to understand God, our Lord, the Creator, that our dream wasn't a dream, because in Professor Scove's class there, that after I took her online test, it got me an invite to go down and see. I was fucking poor, man. Poor. COVID fucking happened. Ruined my business, man. They were fucking with this unemployment shit. And I went and got a driver's license, and guess what? COVID fucking happened. I used my stimulus fucking money and all the payments these motherfuckers giving me to pay the courts so I could have a fucking license. Okay? Well, I had a deal with the Ashtabula courts that if I made this payment every month, and it was a small one, like $10 fucking. Well, the unemployment thing was a disaster. They'd send you money, then cut you off, send you more money, cut you. It was retarded with how that unemployment stuff worked. But I used it to get my license straightened up, okay? Well, when they started to fuck with the unemployment checks, I couldn't make that small $10 payment to Ashtabula, and my license got suspended or whatever. After spending all my stimulus, the $1,000, the $600 a week, all that every week I would pay off a fucking court, okay, and get my stuff. Except for Ashtabula was so much because I got so many tickets up there in traffic, whatever, nothing serious, but always traffic stuff. But anyway, most of the traffic stuff on my record I deserved. Another cop I made friends with in town here is Officer Helford. The guy who's given me probably pretty much every ticket that I've had in my lifetime, but I deserved. And I'm like, damn, you see me that red light, and there's Officer Helford. One of them deals, right?
What kind of Harley did you have?
I rode a Sportster back in them days. It was a 1981 Sportster. It wasn't actually mine. It was a friend of mine that's deceased. His name was Dave Wardrop. It was his motorcycle. And really, he had another one, but he let me use it all summer long. So I was riding around being crazy like a maniac. Whatever. So, anywho, later on, I got all my certificates from Tampa. It's not good enough for me to go get a job in space weather forecasting. Plus, I'm a felon because of my drug charges. Because, excuse me, you know, being hooked on Dr. Brandt's medicine for 20 years and whatever it was. But I tell you, when I stopped taking that stupid poison, my pains went away. My pains went away. I don't have those pains today. And by the way, there was one symptom that Suboxone caused, and I can't relate it to the teeth thing because I wrecked my bicycle during COVID. I was doing a trick for my granddaughter and broke my jaw. So I can't bring my teeth problems on it. But I tell you, it did cause one symptom. Then it's plagued me every single day is that it caused, I believe that it caused my nose to leak. Like when I stopped taking it, I never got, like it was never, you know, I was worried, oh God, this last piece is, I'm going to be dope sick, but that never happened. And I was grateful to God that never came back. And, you know, but anyway, I pretty much got all my stuff together back in them days. And, you know, I just I don't think anybody had my stuff together at a salon. Then COVID happened. I know I'm in this trouble because of that event and being stuck in the mud with the driver's license thing ever since. And the reason I'm probation violated is because hold on, somebody came in. Sorry.
Raise that fucking door.
Huh?
Raise that fucking door.
Oh, this one. Anyway, Doc.
Okay.
COVID
Anything
happened.
else you want me to know today?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a crime to try to understand things. Okay? I mean, I understand how some of this stuff works. I mean, our schools are surrounded by these cell phone things that nobody really has ever looked into. I mean, nobody's looking into it or saying any, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to be called delusional because I study and look into things that are bizarre. Whatever I told them two people was the truth. And I went into the first one telling myself, oh, I'm just going to tell the truth. I don't know what I got to worry about. I'm just going to tell everything what they had. Whatever. I tell you what though, I messed with opiates since that day, man. Since some days. I brought myself to community counseling. I brought myself there, man. Dr. Nemi actually got me sent there from Mill Creek Community, whatever that hospital, detox center was. And I got sent to you guys. And it worked. I spent 2 years in IOP with Dawson trying to, I come back all the time. I got my stuff together, But, the driver's license thing, by now, I haven't had a license for so long, sir. I don't really want one. I look at it in a positive way. I don't need a license. Look how good I look. I look how in shape I am. Most of the people my age are fat, not in shape, and not looking good, and sickly, and not feeling this and that. I mean,
You're green crayon today.
I ride a bike wherever I go, even in the winter, and I like to do it. It's made me feel a lot better, and I think better when I exercise. So, and I eat pretty good, and I study a lot, and I play my guitar.
Let me find out who you talked to over there and see what's going on.
Yeah, this is all stressful to me, because the judge up there, I mean, I don't know. This guy was mean to me. Like, he was laughing about my doom. Like I asked him if it was funny. I don't think that they put me on the live stream because that I actually stood up to the judge. I'm not respecting them people when I'm done, because Judge Harris didn't treat me like that over the years. Now that guy could, if anyone was going to determine me delusional, it would have to be somebody that I know that they know that I don't like them, and they pretty much don't like me, but we respect each other. Like, there's a guy in the probation, his name is Jeff Raisin. He used to be my client for many years. He would be able to look at Rob Tadero and say, "Oh, you're delusional, dude. You're not thinking correctly," right?
Right.
And he's an intelligent guy. He knows about the magnetic field. He knows about our bodies and our immune system, our synapses, our receptors, how our nervous systems work, how our organs work, how our cells, what vitamins and nutrients our cells need to keep healthy, and how it all works. I mean, I studied this stuff. Down with Tamitha Scove, there was another class involved with that they tried to make you sit in. It was called metaphysics. But metaphysics is a very easy, common sense thing to me. It comes very easy for me to understand. So I skipped out with this other lady friend of mine, and another cat. We went down to this department where they study your brain neurons. It's called synapses, where they look at your brain neurons in real time, your receptors, and you get a real good knowledge in that class about neurons. Even though we weren't part of the class and signed up, it was fascinating to learn about, because it just was fascinating to look in the electron microscope at your cells and DNA well, anyway, but me and this group of friends, we got away with skipping out of that physics class for weeks, man, into the other neurology class. And one day the professor, well, he walked by us all the time. One day he walks by, he goes, "You guys aren't in our class." Does that mean we're kicked out, man? He goes, "You can stay, but you're not getting a grade for this." I said, "Well, I don't know. We're just here to look through the microscope,
We wanted the information anyway, I think.
Well, he let us do experiments like through his name was Bob. He was a nice man. I couldn't pronounce his last name for the life of me, but Professor Bob down at Millersville. Well, anyway, this cat down there, he was just a very real nice guy. He let us look through the microscope. He let us provide an experiment where how frequencies and vibrations affect the cell, what DNA is. We learned about a machine called CRISPR and chromosomes, how they can edit. Okay, I know all that. I know a lot of stuff. I just learned some other stuff. pRNA, I know all about that too. I know all of it. I know the chemistry. I know how it works. I mean, some of the terms I let go of, but I know how shit works. So that doesn't make me delusional. It makes me aware.
All right, Robert, we're going to be out of time here, so I've talked to you now, let me talk to these other people and see what's going on here, okay?
Well, see, that's what I was afraid of, that we would hang up and I wouldn't get your thoughts on what kind of guy I am, because I just, and I'm sitting here in the hot garage with no air conditioning. It happens to be hot today. And so that's why my girl was telling me to open up the door, let it get warmed up. So, I mean, that bothers me. That's going to leave me all stressed out, because I am not going to be called delusional because I study stuff and I talk about the truth. Whatever, even if I'm wrong, I mean, that's what science is about, proving me wrong. Show me how it's wrong. Give me evidence. I'll give it. I mean, the people should not have called me that for understanding cell phone towers and maybe what geoengineering is. Okay?
All right, well, let me find out what's going on, and then we will get back with you.
When will that be? Because motherfucker. We're out here.
Where's that boombox at? That was up here.
I don't know. Put it somewhere, dude.
Right there.
What?
Hi, this is Iona. My friends call me Cheryl.